The fabulous 50s charity car show, put on by the Rogue Valley Classic Chevys Club, is one of the largest car shows in the state of Oregon. The show is held at Riverside Park in Grants Pass, right on the edge of the Rogue River. It's surely one of the most beautiful settings for a car show on the West Coast. Today, Don Tippit, a master car designer and pinstriper, is going to check out the grounds and see what catches his eye. Don's originally from Phoenix, Arizona, and has lived and breathed cars, art, and illustration for over 50 years, working with many professional racers and builders. He's been based in Oregon since 1973.
Hi, my name's Don Tippit, and I'm here talking about the Decoliner. A friend of mine, Randy Grubb, designed this thing, and I was fortunate enough to have a little bit of input on it. He asked me to give him a hand on a couple of design ideas, which I did, and it's really been a fun thing working with him. He's really a creative guy.
Driving the Decoliner is an awful lot of fun. You have to be in a good mood, and you better be able to take your time, because everybody just wants to talk to you about it. It really makes people smile and laugh wherever it goes. I kind of feel like a rock star. This thing is kind of a moving performance art piece, is I think the best way to describe it. The Decoliner only weighs 7,000 pounds right now, so it runs great. It'll run quite fast because it's quite light. The mileage with a 455 Olds isn't anything to write home about, but it gets hundreds of miles per gallon, and that's really what it's all about. So,
well, and I think that you hit the thing on where you said it was fun. It's been my response to this thing is that watching people, just being like a spectator of this whole deal, it's fun. Everybody that sees it is instantly like curious. First of all, it's such an odd thing, and then it brings them back to a time in their life when you were a kid and you watch cartoons or something like that. It's a thrilling kind of a feeling.
Hey Randy, I feel like I'm in the Nautilus. How did you come up with the idea of the portholes and this environment in here?
the airplane feel of the interior kind of developed over time. It started with 3/4 inch water knife cut ribs, and these oval holes are actually the bucking hole that we get to the back of the rivet from. So that hole became a design element that we really played up, and it became a theme that we repeated over and over again. The same oval was used for the lights in the stairs. The risers in the stairs have a glass in them with a light in, but it also allows the driver to see out. So it's a dual function thing. The futon that we're sitting on folds out into a bed, and yes, we actually have slept in it. The Decoliner was created primarily by myself in my backyard shop here in Grants Pass, Oregon, but there's a whole network of guys that really helped me make it happen. First and foremost, Don Tippit sitting next to me. Don's a great pinstriper, line guy. He's the guy that helped me design and keep an eye on this whole line, make sure the flow of the whole piece was just right. John Deering was the woodworker that helped me do all the wood on the inside. He was masterful at making this birch interior really sing. Ron Kroom did all the paint on the exterior of this thing, and if it hadn't been for Bob Drake and all his generous donations, thanks a lot. All my buddies here in Grants Pass that helped me realize the vision of the Decoliner.
Pretty remarkable. And then after this little project was done, took about 1.5 years to do it. Then he decided he needed some way to get around if he went to some event, so he came up with this. This is a little Decopod, and this is basically a hand-formed aluminum body over a Honda 85, about a 1985 vintage little scooter. It's had quite a response in itself. Interesting thing, because it has doors on a motor scooter, which is kind of an interesting concept. And then again, the handlebars and everything are underneath the cowl. Hey Tommy, tell us about your car.
Okay, it's a 29 Model A. It started out life as a 2-door sedan. We've done a whole bunch of little modifications. It's got a small block Chevy in it, aluminum heads, roller rockers, I don't know, probably about 400 horse, something like that. We've actually drag raced it once. It was really a lot of fun.
1940 Buick 4-door special, and you can see the B and C pillars have been taken out. The roof's been chopped 3 inches. The back half of the roof was taken off. It was into 3 pieces. We moved the trunk line back on the trunk 5 inches. The trunk opens left to right. Just a ton of work. And anyways, the car is all metal. The front of the car used to have the old grill that extended out left to right and all that. And the boys at Holtz Customs wanted to make the front of it look like an F-16 fighter plane.
This is something kind of different for a hot rod event. Says it's a Jag Xk 140 1956. Beautiful car. It goes to show you the variety of things that you see at these events. This particular car it's got those classic European lines, and with the chrome bumper and the chrome grille and the headlight rings, it really defines a look that was popular in America in the early 50s. Another fine example of customs. Usually a custom's a hard thing to pull off without overdoing them. This car is not overplayed at all. It's just a great looking car. And I'm standing here with the owner, and I'm going to ask him a few questions about it. What gave you the idea to build a Buick for a custom?
I'm kind of a Buick guy. I got a 49 Buick Roadmaster convertible too, and several others, but like the lines of them. I think they're just awesome, and we kind of kept the original lines, but everything's been molded and welded, and it's got a 49 Cadillac front bumper, custom grille, and the hood's rounded, the doors are rounded.
This is a fun one right here. 27 T Roadster, and it's the Nevada brothel inspector. He's probably quite a unpopular guy with the ladies, but anyway, great looking car. It's got a small block Chevy in it, looks like. Well, this is a perfect example of a new fad, the rat rod, and this is just a great thing because it looks like it's Cummins diesel engine. Looks like an early Pontiac or Chevy body. Probably 33 or 35 or something like that. One of the guys standing here, I was asking him a few questions about it, and he said he thought it was around 800 horsepower in this thing. And these cars are interesting in the sense that once you start looking at them, there's a lot of engineering and a lot of thought and design that goes into these things. The bodies are kind of rough looking until you start looking at them, but the fabrication stuff is fantastic on most of these. It's great to see a whole new fad in a whole new era. This is another example of the rat rod era. This it's got a small block Mopar in it. Just a fun looking thing. It's got pickup bed on it. And it's got a trailer. And the Studebaker Dictator, 1937. Just a great, and it looks like 37 through 39 Ford headlights on it. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah,
that is correct.
Great touch.
39 rear tail lights, and these were actually cut out of a 37 Ford to put in.
Yeah. Okay, here's another deal that we found here at the car show. This is the Grants Pass Police Department. I guess it's their newest vehicle. Tell us a little bit about this, Tom.
Well, this was purchased by our old commander, Ron Swartz. He bought it out in the Midwest, had it trailered out here, and all the city and volunteers got together, painted it, decorated it, put all the lights from an old fire truck up there, and we take it to parades, car shows, and it's just a PR. That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, it sure grabs its attention. I bet you it's very rewarding to see a 1954 Ford in this kind of shape, and it really represents the police department of the 50s. Interesting. This is a Dodge Brothers looks like somebody made themselves a paddy wagon. Weaver City Street Rodders. Nice airbrushed detail work on the side of the door. A lot of really cool things you find at these car events. I bet you couldn't find 3 of these in the whole state. Yeah, it's funny. We just saw a 33 Austin Bantam a few minutes ago, and you very rarely see them. They're a real unique car, and they're very, very rare. And we end up with 2 of them in the same show. Kind of an amazing thing. Another 33, except this Bantam has been restored in a wonderful job. Here's an example of full custom paint. It was painted by Tommy Carr out of Rogue River or Gold Hill, Oregon, and a lot of custom features. The grill's all billet. Got a blown Chrysler. It's a Chrysler Airflow 37, 38 vintage, 4-door. Fenders are welded onto the body, the running boards. A lot of custom features on this car. It's got a sunroof. Fine example of show car quality, and I'm gonna just briefly have the camera go around it and show you a couple of pictures of all of its appointments.
My name's Dan DeYoung, and I'm on the Grants Pass City Council. We have like 145 sponsors for the different plaques and cars and categories, and some major sponsors. We had Home Depot come on board, Lithia. There's an awful lot of big players in this event. Good for the town. It's good for your town. If you're thinking about putting on a car event, it's good for your town. It brings money in outside. We've had an awful lot of people come here from Arizona and New Mexico and California, and they just spent the whole week here, so it's good for the economy too. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Dan. And another, like to reiterate what he was saying, we're right on the river, a beautiful, beautiful spot to have an event like this. And the people are also nice and congenial, and it's really a pleasure to see this many families involved in a situation like this. A lot of these car events become a guy-only kind of a thing, and that's not what's going on here. You see a lot of young kids, and hopefully there's young people that still want to be involved in this sport.